and it just kept looping. It sounded like they were going bouncy, 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 bouncy. And my whole computer froze. I couldn't even turn it off. I had to Google on my phone how to do a hard shutdown on a Chromebook. It was like it was possessed or something. It was a little crazy. But I know we've had a full moon and lots of energy going on in the universe right now. So who knows what was going on. So fingers crossed, it's all good. So we're good to go, Steph? Yes? Thumbs up? Yes? Okay. Welcome to November Tribe Time, everybody. I am Janine Jones. For those of you that don't know me, I'm here in Gilbert, Arizona, and I'm very grateful for all of our Isogenics leaders in our area and around the world that you're able to join us. I am going to talk today a bit about visualization and manifesting. And I really want this to be very interactive. We're going to break into groups. I'm going to show you a video. But I thought what we could do just to start off, if you guys want to unmute yourselves and just let me know who out there has a vision board, or even raise your hands. Vision boards, yes. Okay, fantastic. It looks like everybody's got, just about everybody. Lisa, do you have a vision board? No, that's okay. Then you're in the right place today. And I can't see Diana, but she's obviously wants to plug in, but that's cool. We totally understand. Sometimes you're at work or driving. We're just glad that you're here with us. I want to also ask who out there does meditation regularly. I know this is something we talked about before, and it was a little bit of a hurdle. Fantastic. Meditating is a very good thing to do as well. And who out there has manifested something into their life in the past where there was something, yay, I love to see the hands, fantastic. We all know that it works. And I'm gonna start by showing a video that really explains the science behind being able to manifest things into your life, how it actually works with your brain to make it happen. And then I would like, after the video, we'll chat a bit and then we'll break into rooms. So I'm going to share my screen. And if someone can just say, yes, they can see my screen. I'm hoping, because I can't see you guys. Yes. Okay, fantastic.
If you expect to achieve your goals, if you expect to reach your potential, if you expect to have your dreams come true, what I'm about to explain to you is mission critical. You must become a master at visualization. For those of you that are like, what the heck is she talking about? I did not sign up for some sort of meditation, woo-woo, spiritual thing here. Don't worry. This is Mel Robbins. There's always science and research involved in everything that I talk about. So visualization is a extraordinarily powerful skill. You may have heard of the law of attraction. You may have heard of the word visualization. You may have heard of the word manifesting. I call it seeing signs. Your brain has a system in it. Here's the technical term. It's called the reticular activating system. It is a network of neurons all up in here. And what is the job of the reticular activating system? It is a filter system. It's basically a system that allows certain information in your brain, and it blocks out other information. And guess who programmed that filter? You did. And so did the people from your past. And so if you constantly feel like you're unlovable, guess what? Your reticular activating system is going through the day, and it is going to point out every single piece of evidence.
Oh.
that confirms that negative belief that you have. If you think that people don't like you at work, the reticular activating system, the filter, it is literally going to be looking for evidence to confirm that belief all day long. This is one of the reasons why we have such a problem with politics in this country. This is why there's something called a confirmation bias. Confirmation bias means your mind loves to read things that you agree with, because reading things that you agree with confirms Facebook page and the ad over here and the ad over here and the ad over here and the ad and the news feed right here and the stuff up here and all this over here. If your brain took in everything at equal value, your head would literally explode off your shoulders. Your brain would melt down. And so the reticular activating system protects your brain by filtering information and only letting in stuff that it agrees with. So that's the scientific reason and mandate for why you got to get busy reprogramming that thing. Now we're going to talk about how you use visualization in order to start to reprogram the reticular activating system in your brain so that your brain starts to spot opportunity. Your brain starts to spot evidence that things are working out. Your brain starts to spot coincidences so you can build momentum. And it begins with visualization. So as you take your goals, right? So you've written down all these goals, right, for 2019. I want you to go to each one and I want you to do a visualization exercise. And here's how you're going to do it based on science, because there's a particular way you have to do this based on science, okay? It's a two-step method. If your goal is to improve your self-worth, I want you to visualize what your life looks like and how you're going to feel about yourself when your self-worth has improved. There's two things that you have to do when it comes to visualization. You have to close your eyes. Truly, I know it sounds stupid, but I want you to close your eyes and I want you to, in your mind, have a specific picture of what it looks like in your life when your self-worth has improved. You're going to see yourself speaking up at work. You're going to see yourself talking more about your business. You're going to see yourself leaving bad relationships. You're going to see yourself defining boundaries. You're going to see yourself going to the gym. You're going to see yourself taking care of yourself. And when you start to visualize the image of that, I want you to consciously, this is step 2, consciously think of the positive emotions that you're going to feel. I'm going to feel happy. I'm going to feel proud. I'm going to stand taller. I'm going to be so grateful that I made this change. Marrying the specific picture. Oh, there I am. There I am. I'm at work and I'm raising my hand. Amazing. I'm sharing my idea. There I am. I'm getting a promotion. There I am asking for a raise. There I am. I've just signed up another customer to my business. There I am. I've gone back to school. I feel so good about myself. When you do that, here's what's actually happening in your brain. This is the cool science part. You are training your brain to have a totally different filter. You see, your brain, my brain, it doesn't know the difference between something that actually happened to you, like the F you got in your test in 10th grade, and the things you imagine that are happening to you. Let me say that again. Your brain doesn't know the difference between the bad things that actually happen to you, the real memories that you have, and an imagined memory that you're creating. Your brain will experience you visualizing going to the gym, you visualizing how happy you feel when you do, you visualizing asking for that raise and getting it, how proud you're going to feel. Your brain, when you visualize in the way that I'm teaching you to, it encodes it as a real memory. And that's important, because when you encode it as a real memory, it changes the filter system, that reticular activating system. And here's what we know based on research. The more you visualize things, number one, the greater your confidence is going to be, the greater security you're going to have about it. And here's the really cool thing. The more you do this with your goals, you wake up every day and you just visualize, it takes 30 freaking seconds, for crying out loud. You visualize having a great day at school. You visualize curing your panic and how proud you're going to be. What studies suggest and have proven is that simply visualizing yourself doing things actually develops the skill and helps you improve the skills, just as if you were actually doing it. And so there's proof based on research that visualization helps you build skills. And then finally, the other thing that's really important about this is that the more that you do this, what we know based on research is that the reason why you start to believe what you think is because you are reprogramming your brain. You are changing the network of neurons that act as a filter. And so the more that you actually believe in yourself and you start thinking and visualizing yourself speaking up, the more confident you're going to become, the more skills that you're building, and you're actually going to do it. And then instead of looking for all the reasons when you're sitting in a meeting to not speak up, you're going to just speak up because you're going to have changed the filter. You're going to look for opportunities. This is how it works. This is why this is so incredibly important. And so day one, I want you to go through all the goals that you set. And I want you every single day throughout the next 30 days, you are going to spend 30 seconds. Your dreams deserve 30 seconds, don't you think? You're going to close your eyes and you're going to visualize, what does it look like in your life when you have achieved your monetary goals this year? How does it feel to go to the bank and see that balance? How does it feel to be able to write that check and take your kids to Disney World on money that you made? How does it feel to be able to rent your own place or put down a down payment for the house you've always dreamt of? How does it feel to be able to have saved enough money so you can quit the job that you hate and launch the business because you have achieved your goals? It feels darn good. That's how it feels. And I want you to just savor that, because what you're doing when you visualize is you're reprogramming your reticular activating system, that system of neurons, that network that acts like a filter in your brain, so that it's spotting opportunity, so that it is helping you see evidence that you are confident, that you are capable, that you can do this, instead of all the garbage you think right now.
Pretty darn cool, wouldn't you say? So Mel Robbins, I love her. And I love that there's science behind us being able to do this. And it's proven. I mean, we've all probably heard of professional athletes. You know, you see them before whatever they're getting ready to do. They're looking at it and they're seeing it already done. They're seeing themselves with that gold medal or being first in their race. Muhammad Ali, Will, oh my gosh, Will Smith, Arnold Schwarzenegger, so many different people that have succeeded and done things in their life. And I know I think all of us pretty much raised our hands. I'll give an example of what has happened for me. And then I'd love to hear some examples from some of you as well. Some of you know my story, some of you may not, but I was in a very toxic marriage. I was never physically abused, but I was very much mentally abused for years, where I was told that I would never succeed. I was told that no matter what I did, I could never do what other people were doing. I wasn't good enough. And it got to the point where I started to believe it. And I know that my business definitely did not take off because I believed everything that he said to me. And then I finally got to the point where I said, I can do this. And I mustered the strength to leave him. And I proved him wrong. He told me I would only live in a one bedroom apartment in the bad part of town. But now I live in a beautiful home in a great part of town, and I'm succeeding and I am happier than ever. So what you listen to and what you concentrate on is going to change the way that your brain thinks about things. And so not only what people are saying to you, but what you're saying to yourself and what you're reading, what movies you watch. I don't like to watch any of those. I call them bang bang movies, with horrible murders and that kind of thing, because that gets put into your brain. I like to watch happy love stories and things like that. So I'd love to hear from some of you before we go into breakouts. What are some of the things that you've been able to manifest into your life? Who wants to give an example? I see some people nodding their heads, and Annie's pointing at Vicky. Vicky, do you have something to say? Yes, unmute yourselves and give us an example. Anybody want to share? Rose wants to share. Unmute yourself, Rose, and let's hear it.
Well, this is kind of a funny example, but on my desktop computer at my business, the desktop image was one of those huts in the South Pacific out over the water. Mm-hmm. And that was there for over a year. And I actually manifested a 2-week cruise in the South Pacific, which
wow,
at the time I totally couldn't afford. And, it was not something that I thought was possible.
Awesome. What a beautiful place to go on a cruise too. I bet it was gorgeous.
It totally was.
Thank you for sharing. Who else wants to tell us something that they have manifested into their life that they didn't think would have been possible? I know we all have done it. Let's hear anybody else. Come on, Vicky. I know Annie wants you to say something. or Annie, tell us.
I have something. So okay. For the past about 2 years, really, truly, I have been following certain places in Puerto Vallarta, and I've always wanted to go there. But for the past 2 years, I started following Andales, which is like this little restaurant bar. And I see the fun that the people have, the posts, the Insta stories, all the things. And then like 2 weeks, well, like 3 weeks ago, I found out that I was going there for my birthday. My boyfriend took me there. Aww. And we went with another couple, and it was so much fun. And I believe it was all manifested for sure.
Yeah, definitely. That's fantastic. Awesome. Anyone else want to share something? I know there's so many cool stories out there. No?
I think I manifested it, but I guess I never doubt, but I always at a young age knew I was just going to move to Switzerland for a year. Wow. And I ended up moving there for 2 years. So once I graduated high school, I guess I manifested it, but I guess I never even questioned it. So it was just a natural manifestation or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, and that is, like she said, feeling is the secret. I'll never forget when I first started doing Isogenics as a business, it was in August. And of course, Celebration was just getting ready to start. And Peta Kelly did her presentation. And I must have watched it like 6 times in that one day. I just kept going back and watching it again and again. It just moved me so much. And then I started following Peta Kelly. At the time I was living in Australia, and she was an Aussie here in America, for the big celebration. And it was just so powerful to me. And one of the things that she talked about was when she was younger, she would listen to Neville Goddard's The Feeling is the Secret. And so, of course, I immediately bought the book, and you can find it on YouTube where they actually will read it to you, which is awesome. Or get the book if you haven't read it before. And it really is that feeling, when you have that feeling that this has already happened. And And again, I'll go back to my example. I was so worried about leaving my husband. I had to leave without him knowing, because otherwise he would never have let my son leave the country. And so my sister Bethany found for me a meditation, and they kept saying, it has already happened, and so I would just see myself like in the airport in Phoenix hugging my sister. And I listened to that meditation every night before bed. And I think it's the only thing that kept me sane, because I knew that Andrew and I were going to be here in Arizona, safe and sound and away from him. And it happened. So that feeling, you need to have that feeling and know that it's already happened, and see yourself in that, whatever it is that you want to manifest into your life. So what I would like to do next is go into breakout rooms. And Stephanie, can you see on the bottom? I should have enabled it on yours, where you can put us into breakout rooms. You see it? Okay, awesome. So Stephanie's going to go into breakout rooms. For the first breakout room, I want us just to discuss amongst each other, what are you doing to manifest things into your life? Is it vision boards? Is it books, specific movies, podcasts, whatever it is, because we're a group of individuals that everybody is getting information from somewhere else. So if we can share what it is that we're doing, it may be something that we haven't heard about before that will help us with our manifesting beautiful things into our life. So why don't we do it for 10 minutes, Stephanie? Awesome. And because we've got another half hour left, and we'll come back and we'll talk about that, and then we'll go into another breakout room, and then we'll wrap it up. Oh, what the bleep do we know? That's a great one.
Okay, so have you guys been invited, or are we all in the same breakout room? Let me see if I can see. Okay. All right. Let's see. Jennifer and Lisa, are you there? Hello.
Hello. All right, as everybody pops back into our main room, I hope that we all learned something new. I know I did. And I am looking forward to checking it out. And I think maybe what we could do is, because I know that this is going into Tribe Timers or recording. I can't remember. Are we live in Tribe Timers, or are we just gonna share it in Tribe
We
Timers?
are doing both, so I don't know what
Okay,
happens when we
perfect.
do breakouts. Yeah.
Okay, so maybe what we can do is we can all go into the Tribe Timers Facebook page, and under the video, just share some of the things that we have learned from each other in the breakout rooms. And I know I found out about a new meditation from Stephanie, which sounds really interesting. I'm looking forward to checking that out. And I'll just start. I'd like to hear something that you learned that you didn't know about before. And I'll start with just something that I shared with Tara and Stephanie, is that I love to subscribe to Notes from the Universe, which Mike Dooley does through tut.com, T-U-T. It's something that you can put in all of your details. You put in your name, things that you want to manifest into your life, and you get an email every morning from the universe. And sometimes it's just a short little blurb. Sometimes it's a bit longer, but for me, it always seems like it's exactly what I need to hear that day. And I love getting those positive things in your email, because sometimes emails are just, oh, you got to clean out that email box. It's something to look forward to each day. So what is one takeaway that you had from the breakout groups? Feel free to unmute and share.
Well,
Heidi?
I got inspired by Heather and Sybil. I was thinking, I've been really stuck with my son, has to have open heart surgery. And I'm like stuck because I don't know what to do. I'm a little lost. It's just overwhelming. And I realized I can start manifesting the whole positive outcome of it, because I've been dreading it, because we've gone through this when he was 2. So I know what to expect, and it's just a lot. So now I can focus on manifesting how we're going to go to the hospital with ease, and how I'm going to be calm. And like now I feel like I have a tool that I can do something about it.
Awesome.
Where I was just lost 10 minutes ago. Before this, I was just, or last like month, a little lost with it. So
love that. That's a fantastic one. Anyone else like to share something that they learned new that they didn't know before? Nope. Okay, that's cool. Well, the next thing I'd like to discuss in our breakout rooms is, what are you doing to vision cast for your team? We all have heard speakers at different events, if it was New Year's kickoff or celebration, but it seems that it is a common theme about vision casting for a new member, even if it is just someone coming on and as a product user that wants to transform their body or transform the way they think, or if it's a new business builder and help vision cast for their future, rank advancing and what their future is going to look like. I think we all have got a little bit of a different take on how we do that with bringing in a new team member. So I thought that would be great to discuss amongst ourselves in our small little groups, which I think is perfect. So Stephanie, if you want to do us in new groups, and let's see, it's almost 1:15, so we'll do another 10 minutes and then we'll just come back and wrap it up.
And Tara mentioned that on her phone, so I sent you
Yes,
all invites. But if you're on your phone, go ahead and swipe.
Sorry, thank you, Stephanie, for reminding. I forgot.
Yeah, I still don't know how to get myself into one.
Mm. Well, welcome back, everyone. It looks like we've got everybody back. Yep, there's Rose. I'm like, wait a minute, we're missing one person. There she is. Okay, ladies. So I'll start with a takeaway. Actually, we had a few takeaways. One thing that Tara was discussing was really finding out what our people, our teammates' goals are, how much they're able to commit to, and setting realistic goals. Not, we're going to get to executive by the end of the year if you only have an hour a day to put into your business. Setting realistic goals and then going from there and going from there. And once you reach that goal, set a new one. And when you reach that goal, set a new one. I love that because that is really important. If we set goals that are huge, and then you can get very overwhelmed and be like, oh my gosh, I'm never going to reach this goal. But when you set that first step and you conquer it, then you feel fantastic. And then you set the next goal and you conquer it. It just helps build your inner strength as well. And something that Stephanie said that I loved was revisiting The Secret. I know all of us on here probably have seen it or read it at some point, but maybe quarterly going back and watching it or reading it again, because it really does help, again, build that knowledge and that desire that this can happen. And then the last takeaway I had was there's also a book called The Magic, and it's sort of a spin-off to The Secret. And The Magic takes you a month to read because each chapter gives you something to do. And you don't go on to the next chapter until the next day. So each day it gives you something to do. So if you haven't read The Magic, I would definitely recommend that as well. And I was even saying that I keep seeing that word all over the place. And I think it's the universe telling me it's time for me to reread it, because it has been a few years since I have. So, thank you, Sherry. They have a teen version of The Magic. And I think that this is fantastic for anyone that has children to install these things into them from a young age that they can manifest. I know, I'll just give a real quick example. Bethany's son, Waylon, was just like little, like I think 4 or 5 years old when they did their first vision boards together. And he put a picture of Arizona on there. That's where he wanted to live. And they never dreamed that because they vacationed in Arizona and he loved it. And now how long have they been here? I think like 5 years, which is just crazy. They never thought about living in Arizona, and now their son manifested it. I love it. So what are some of your guys' takeaways? Let's hear from the peanut gallery.
I know I didn't get to say this because we kind of got cut off short, but with Mary talking, she really reminded me of Eden Sloven and the onion peel. I don't know if anyone has heard of that, but just slowly peeling away, asking them questions to get to what they need.
Yeah, that's a great example. Thank you so much for sharing that, Mary and Sherry. Because that is so true. If you think about it, in just about any situation, it's all layers. And when you get to the bottom, it's like, oh, or to the middle, that's what it was all about. So yeah, I love that. And Enid and Zach are fabulous. They've got lots of great content out there. If you've never heard any of their presentations, or just follow them on Instagram or Facebook, because they're always giving you fantastic content.
Yeah, I think one of the things that I was saying, and that I found that has worked really well for myself, is that we want to come up with a really good list of questions and not leave them at surface level. really take people down deep into their core, because once they tie an emotion or a feeling to something, it is more tangible for them. So then it's real. And so it's just, I think, more motivational. It's just, again, it just makes it more real for them. So, and it's not just a pipe dream.
Yes, for sure. And that goes right back to the feeling is the secret. When you get that feeling and that emotion into whatever goal or that they want to achieve, it really does make it, like Mary said, more tangible. It's like, yes, that's what I want. That's the feeling I want to have. I can feel it already. And once you start feeling it, that's when the manifestation starts. Yeah. Okay, who's next? Sybil, you've been awfully quiet today.
I know I have. Well, I'm always the one that's constantly talking. So I just thought I'm going to let everybody else speak. But in our group, we talked about kind of vision casting for our teammates. And I think the reason that people think I'm good at this is just that I always have led with the business and made the decision for them. I know we're told not to make the decision for them, but I do make the decision for them that they deserve to know what they're a part of, and that it's really not up to them because they will always choose to be a product user because it's less threatening. It's like, oh, I don't want to quit my day job. I'm like, no, it's not about that. I told a few people already earlier today, but last week there was a gal that was going to go inactive, and she was going to order some new products though. And I said, well, let's look at this. Like, you're sitting on X amount of BV. Are you going to order like 200 BV? And she was like, yeah, I was going to order a bunch. I said, okay, we'll put 100 of it under your daughter and 100 of it under your mom. And she cycled 22 times. So, I mean, that was like over $1,100. So it was really smart for me to give her one more shot at, not turning off her auto ship or whatever it was that she reached out about. But, it would have been foolish. She would have walked away from $1,100. So just always being available to, talk to them about, but hold on, let's really look at what this decision is about. And now, she wasn't planning on being a business builder, but now she's talking about, making sure that she can do the David Wood training and all that. Well, having her go through something like that, she's going to be a business builder.
Yeah.
It's a no-brainer. So I think that it's just about always letting them be a part of what they already deserve. They deserve to know what they're sitting on. And I think that we make the decision for them. No, they don't want to do it. No. But I think that you've got to literally take it more steps and just go, this would be foolish. You can't walk away from this. This is silly. And she's super happy that she took the time and took a 15-minute phone call with me last week.
Fantastic. Yeah. Sometimes it's just pouring love into people, and seeing, hey, listen, you can make $1,100. You're already going to order some things anyway. Let's just do this and make it happen. That was a fantastic example. Thank you so much for sharing, Sybil. And look at that, ladies, 12:30 on the nose. I was afraid I was going to be like really short, but I knew that I could talk. There's no doubt about that. Thank you so much for joining us today. We've got a couple other fun things that are going to be happening this month. We will be going over the pools. I'm still waiting to hear back from corporate who's going to be doing that for us. We're going to be doing that. And then one other thing that I'm still waiting to tidy up, so I'm not going to give it away. But thank you very much for joining us today, no matter where you are in the country. Or the continent, I should say. I think we've got a Canadian Roses from Canada. And don't forget, if you're local, Friendsgiving is in 2 weeks. And I think Tara had asked in the Tribe Time thread how Bethany had invited last year. And I know Bethany's been very busy with things today. That's why she's not here, but I will find the verbiage that we used last year, and I'll put that in the thread. And personal volume. Yep, for sure. Awesome. Thank you very much, ladies. And we will see you same place, same time next week. Okay, bye.
Thank you.
Thanks, Janine.
You're welcome.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.